Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The sound of laughter still echoes in my ears. That mocking, careless laugh, the one my husband gave when I asked if he was cheating. Seriously, Anna? You're starting to sound paranoid. He chuckled as if I'd accused him of stealing cookies instead of my peace of mind. The tone wasn't defensive, it was patronizing. And that hurt even more. Because deep down, I wanted to believe him. But something in me, something cold and trembling, refused to let go of the unease. It began weeks earlier. Ethan had started working late, again. The new project launch, he said, required long nights at the office. I'd heard it before. He'd leave in a crisp white shirt and return with the faintest trace of perfume clinging to his collar. Not my perfume. The scent was floral, light, intoxicating. At first, I dismissed it. Maybe one of his female co-workers hugged him at work. Maybe he brushed against someone in the elevator. Maybe I was being crazy. That word, crazy, was his favorite weapon. Every doubt I voiced became an attack on my own sanity. Every instinct I trusted became evidence that I was overthinking. The house had grown quieter lately. Our laughter, once spontaneous and frequent, now felt forced. Meals were eaten in silence. Our bedroom, the place that once held whispered promises, had become just another room with walls that knew too much. One evening, as he packed his laptop, I asked gently, "Do you still love me, Ethan?" He froze for half a second. Then smiled without looking up. "Of course I do, Anna. Don't start this again. Don't start this again." He said it like I was a burden. Like love was something that required endurance. When he left, I stood by the window and watched his car disappear down the street. Then my eyes drifted toward the small black dome fixed near the garage, the security camera we'd installed months ago after a string of neighborhood thefts. It recorded everything. The footage wasn't something I planned to check that night. But curiosity and fear make dangerous companions. I sat in the dark living room, laptop glowing before me, and opened the app. At first, nothing. Just Ethan leaving, keys in hand, the usual routine. Then, a few nights later, something caught my eye. A figure. A woman. She appeared at our driveway around midnight, standing under the dim streetlight. She looked hesitant, then checked her phone. Moments later, Ethan's car pulled up. My heart thudded painfully as I leaned closer. He got out, smiled, and kissed her, gently, familiarly. Not a stranger's kiss. A lover's. My hand covered my mouth, as if that could silence the scream clawing its way up my throat. The footage ended with them disappearing inside his car. I didn't sleep that night. When Ethan came home near dawn, I pretended to be asleep. He slid into bed beside me, his breathing slow and steady. I stared at the ceiling, feeling his warmth beside me and the chill of betrayal sink into my bones. The next day, I said nothing. Not because I forgave him, but because I wanted him to feel safe. Complacent. That evening, I made dinner. Candlelight, his favorite meal, wine poured to the rim. He smiled, perhaps relieved, maybe even proud of how easily I'd moved on. We ate, talked lightly, and for a moment I almost forgot. Almost. Then he said, "I'm heading back to the office tonight. We're finalizing reports." And I smiled. "Of course. But before you go, there's something I want you to see." I opened my laptop on the table. The footage played in silence. At first, he laughed, actually laughed, his signature smirk returning. "Oh, Anna, this again. You're stalking the cameras now." The woman appeared on screen. His smirk faltered. That's not what it looks like," he began, his voice thinning. I pressed pause. "Then tell me, Ethan. What does it look like?" He stammered, eyes darting between me and the frozen image of his own betrayal. "It's not serious. She's just someone from work. It was a mistake. I didn't want to hurt you." I laughed then, a broken, trembling sound that wasn't really laughter at all. "You didn't want to hurt me. You just wanted to lie to me every night." His jaw clenched. "You've been distant for months. I felt invisible. She listened. She made me feel alive." I finished bitterly. And I made you feel what, Ethan? Trapped? He didn't answer. The silence between us was thick, suffocating. I wanted to throw something. To scream, to curse, to demand he leave. But the truth was heavier than rage, it hollowed me out from the inside. So instead, I whispered, "How long?" He sighed, defeated. "A few months. It's over now." It meant nothing. But I'd seen the way he kissed her. The tenderness, the comfort. That wasn't nothing. That was love, or something dangerously close to it. That night, he slept in the guest room. I stayed awake, watching the hours crawl by. In the quiet, I replayed our life together like a film, the wedding vows, the vacations, the plans we'd made for a family. Every memory now tainted by a single image, a woman under a streetlight and the man who said he loved me walking toward her. By morning, the decision was made. When he came into the kitchen, his eyes red and pleading, I was ready. "I'll stay with my sister for a while," I said calmly. "You can have time to think about what you've done." He reached out, desperate. "Anna, please, we can fix this. Don't throw away what we have." I stepped back. "You already did." As I packed my bags, I saw the security camera blinking outside, the small red light pulsing steadily. The same device that had once made me feel safe had now shattered every illusion I'd clung to. I didn't delete the footage. I left it there, proof, not for him, but for me. Proof that I wasn't crazy. That my instincts, the ones he mocked, were right all along. Before walking out, I turned to him one last time. "You laughed when I asked if you were cheating," I said softly. "Now, tell me, does it still feel funny?" He didn't answer. His silence was all the confession I needed. Outside, the morning air felt sharp, cleansing. For the first time in months, I could breathe without the weight of his lies pressing on my chest. As I drove away, the house in my rearview mirror shrank until it was nothing more than a shadow against the horizon. And yet, somewhere deep inside, a part of me still whispered his name, not in love, but in mourning. Because betrayal doesn't just break your heart. It buries the version of you that once believed it could never happen. And the woman who rose from those ashes, she no longer needed proof. She'd seen everything she needed to see.